Welcome to Abundant as Fuck Masterclass, my loves. I'm so excited to have you all here today. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? Let's hear it in the chat section. Now that it's working, thanks for holding that space for me, you guys, as we got this chat working. The technical difficulties of the interwebs and technology. Yay! So good. Hi, babes. Before I dive into this amazing masterclass, before we open up and start to tap into this portal of abundance, I'd love for us to clear our channels first with some breath and root in and ground in, because I don't know where you guys have been at today. You could be catching this as a replay. And for those of you here live, you could be on a lunch break, or you could have just finished a beautiful morning, or maybe you're go, go, go. So to get everybody on the same frequency, to align us all, to bring us all here, let's all breathe together. And I'd love for us all to, this is my favorite. My clients know this, that y'all are on here and watching this. I love breath of fire. I think it's the fastest recalibration breath for most of us, to bring us back into this moment. It allows us to kind of disconnect from everything and really tune into what it is that we're doing in this present moment. And we live in a world where everything is so fast that rarely do we actually slow down to be present for what it is that we're doing. And I'd love for you guys to be as present as possible for this transmission, so that you can receive the codes and tap into more abundance in your life. So for those of you who have never done breath of fire, it's just a rapid breath in and out of your nose. It's like I like to call it like a bunny breath, where it's like a, and the big part of this breath is actually contracting your abs. Okay, let me bring this down. So it'll be like contracting your abs. You're kind of feeling your when you breathe out, your stomach goes in, and when you breathe in, your stomach goes out. And I say your stomach because most of us just breathe up here. And I'd love for us to get our breath down in our belly a little bit. When we do this, we can close our eyes and just be here and in the now. And I'll play a little song for us to breathe to. And just get lost in your breath. I'll cue for you guys how to breathe, and I'll do a little bit of the breath with you. I did a full 30-minute practice before I even got on here today. So if you are driving listening to this, you can still do this breath without closing your eyes. However, I'd love for you to be in a place where you can sit down and breathe for this breath and close your eyes, and we'll all breathe together. Go ahead and close down your eyes, coming into this moment. Taking some big inhales and exhales through the nose. Allowing yourself to land in this moment. Thanking yourself for being here today. You made time for you. And that is already a win. Now let's go ahead and pick up that fire breath. Closing down the eyes. Allowing your attention to go to your third eye, which is right in between the eyebrows. With your eyes closed, your eyes will roll up in the back of your head, massaging your pineal gland as you breathe. letting it be just you and your breath, nothing else, at the tempo that you need. Feeling the sensations change in your body. Just a little bit more. Trusting this process. Letting go of everything. Except just being here right now. You got 15 seconds left. Big inhale in, holding it at the top. Squeezing the energy in, encasing it inside of your body and sending it up through the crown of your head, holding your breath and breathing out. Allowing yourself to just be here in this moment, in this new body. In and out of your nose. You can start to roll your neck a little bit. Maybe switching directions. Taking some more big inhales. Out through the mouth on these ones. Coming back completely to this moment. Starting to blink your eyes open if they were closed. Thanking yourself for giving yourself just 3 minutes of a reset. That's all that was. So let's dive in, my loves. Today is going to be such a fun mix of transmissions and journaling prompts. I have some incredible questions for you guys that I hope start to stir up the answers you've been looking for when it comes to money, when it comes to prosperity. Today is a special day, whether you're catching it on a replay or not. If it's the replay, you get to tap into this energy. And if you're here live, for those of you who are, I'm so happy you made it. Today is the merging between Leo and Virgo energy. It's the cusp where we transfer signs. And it's also a really amazing day because it's 8-2-2-2-2. So it's almost like a double 8 day. Leo energy is that fire, that moving things forward. And the Virgo is that earth energy, which takes practical action. And so merging these two together, this is the most amazing time of the year, especially coming into fall, to really start to look at money. It's the energy of harvest, the energy of bringing things in, right? Gathering things. Think of all of the crops that get harvested around this time, right? And so we're calling in the abundance. And when I tapped into today, and I was so excited to begin, I always ask myself, how do I want to begin this? How do I want them to feel? And the message that came through is, I just want you to feel inspired that you can have wild abundance in your life. No matter where you're at in your career or your business or your life, you can have wild abundance in your life while also having happiness and joy and adventure. Wild abundance doesn't have to come with the sacrifice of your happiness and your well-being. Chaos will be part of the journey to get there. Chaos will be part of the journey to get there, because chaos is just an element of life. It just comes with it. But you can have abundance and happiness. Okay. So what is abundance? I asked myself that today. And for those of you who are new to me, I love to write notes and journal before I come and do a transmission. And so you'll see me kind of connect to my writings throughout this process. But I said, what is abundance? And I said, abundance to me, and maybe this is for you too. Abundance to me is the overflow of higher frequencies. Abundance is the overflow of higher frequencies. What are higher frequencies? Love, prosperity, health, happiness, lightness, breath, dreams, optimism, right? To me, that's abundance. When I am at this higher vibrational frequency, living in possibility, living in this place where I know I can be, do, and have anything that I want, I am the frequency of abundance. And in that place, money starts to flow to me, because I'm attuning myself to higher frequencies. When I first started to tap into making more money, because today is specifically about money, right? This masterclass was specifically the abundance of money. And when I started to tap into more money, having 100K launches, 50, 40K months, money in a way that I never thought I could have, I realized that in those moments, I was energetically living in abundance in every capacity. Like I was thinking and being in abundance. And because I had recalibrated my frequency to that, I was an aligned match to receive that. Okay. Changed me. Grabbing my water. Today's just going to be a real mellow process of these little transmissions. So if that's what abundance is to me, and I hope that you can start to take on that idea of what abundance is for you, I then asked myself, what is the most common problem when it comes to making money for people? What have I witnessed the most common problem to be? You know, I've worked with people and helped them build their businesses up, 6 figures plus. I've played in the world of money with other entrepreneurs. I've been part of really big, beautiful masterminds where people are, making 8 figures. And I started to realize the core root of why most of us don't call in more money. And those two things, are very similar. One, the first reason, the most common reason why I feel, to me, why people don't make more money is because they're thinking too small. They're thinking too small. And that rolls into the second reason. And this is the one we're going to dive into a little bit. And you'll have to let me know if this aligns with you. You have a pattern of just getting by. That is the second reason. People develop a pattern of just getting by. I know that when I am stuck in scarcity, when I'm stuck in this place where I'm just affording my life, I'm not having more to spend, more to invest, more to do with, it's because I'm thinking just enough to get out of the problem I'm in. And I use all my resourcefulness to get out of the problem I'm in, to pay the bills I need to pay. And then that cycle repeats itself. All right. An example is, let's say you have some bills coming up and you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get these bills paid for. So you strategize how to get those bills paid for, but you don't strategize beyond that. Right? That's the pattern of making just enough. Or you have a vacation you want to go on. Right? And you figure out how to make enough to go on that vacation. And that's the pattern of making just enough. I'd love to hear in the chat, is this something that shows up in your life? Is this something that shows up in your life? The pattern of making just enough. Yep. Oh yeah. Yes. See? Isn't it funny too? We always seem to make just what we need whenever we need it. Isn't it just so irritating? We make just enough. Randy says, literally just happened to me. Yes, yes, yes. So this happens to me at every stage, and it's such a beautiful reminder. I still, at every level of my business, I'm reminded of this. And so we're going to go deeper into this concept in just a minute. But for a moment, I'd love for you guys to visualize something with me. Let's go ahead and close down your eyes if you can, if you're not driving. And go ahead and imagine the situation where you're making just enough. Imagine the situation where you're making just enough and how it feels in your body. And if you're not someone who's just getting by right now, take yourself to that moment if you've ever been there. And notice how it feels in your body to make just enough. Notice where that is inside of your body when you make just enough. I'm going to play some music for you guys. And now we're going to jump to a different reality for a moment. I'd love for you to imagine yourself making more than enough. I'm not going to tell you how much that is. What is more than enough for you right now? How much more a month would you need to actually feel like you can breathe? Imagine your life and what it would be like, how it would be different. Feeling your nervous system relax just through this simple visualization of like, oh my God, I'm paying my bills and I have more in my bank account. Oh, I can go get my hair done that I've been wanting to do, or oh, I could make this little payment here that I've been wanting to. Ooh, I might be able to book this trip and still not feel like, oof, tight. You're just relaxed. Imagine this. And hold that frequency for a moment. And now, my loves, we're going to double that amount. I want you to envision whatever amount that you chose. Double it. Double that feeling of freedom and breathe into that. Can you feel it? Can you see it? How much does your body relax when you realize you're not just getting by, you're not just having money in your account, but you are like, wow, this feels good. Where did the pressure go away? Where did the pain go away if you had any? What feels lighter in your body? And if you're bold enough, which I know all of you are, take that amount, that doubled amount, and I want you to double that. Four times the amount of just getting by. Maybe it's even more. Maybe it's 10 times now. Breathe into that. With this much money, what would be the first couple things you do? And what would be the first couple irresponsible things that you would do? If you didn't start irresponsible, most of us will start responsible. But if you started irresponsible, what are the responsible things that you would do if you had that much money? Bringing yourself back to this moment, starting to move your hips, rolling your shoulders, closing out this vision, thinking it. Who felt really good doing that? I always know I do. Oh, right? Now, here's the beauty of doing that exercise. If you can see it, you can create it. And if you can see it, it's already on its way. Okay? It's already on its way. So most of us are probably thinking, well, how the fuck do you manifest it then? This leads us into the next part that I want to share with you guys. You just visualized this, right? You visualized it actually happening without knowing the how. That's always step one when you start to bring more money into your life. You actually have to tap into the frequency of what it feels like in your body. Your body has to be available to receive. And it's as simple as that exercise. Okay, it's as simple as that exercise. Like, oh, I'm available to receive this. Your body just said, yeah, yes, I'm an available match for that. That feels great. Okay. Then what comes next? And this is something that I love teaching and also reminding myself of, which this is probably my number one money secret, right? This is my number one money secret. Are you ready for this? Money is resourcefulness. Money is resourcefulness. Okay. Resourcefulness is money. They're no different. If you want money in your life, you get to become more resourceful. It's that simple. And what does that mean, more resourceful? Well, have you ever noticed when you need money, you create money? We just talked about this. When you need money, you create money. Why is that? It's because you became resourceful, right? Like, let's say something happens and you don't have the money for something that you have to pay. You have to pay it. Something bad's going to happen if you don't pay it. You will find a way to pay that thing, whether you have to borrow it, ask for somebody to help you out, put it on a credit card, work extra hours, create a new offering, raise your prices, whatever it is, get a new job. When you have to pay for something, you become resourceful. At a lower frequency level, I know when my expenses were coming up, right? When I was first beginning my journey and I had a 9-to-5, I realized that the life I was living wasn't, my current job couldn't support that. So I found a new job. That's a way of being resourceful, right? Asking for a raise. That's a way of being resourceful. So resourcefulness is money. It's no different. Now, here's the problem with resourcefulness. Most of us only know how to tap into resourcefulness when we have to, right? Most of us only tap into resourcefulness when we have to. So the shift, right? The shift from scarcity to abundance is learning how to use resourcefulness deliberately versus desperately. I'm going to say that again. The shift from being in scarcity or abundance is learning how to use resourcefulness deliberately, not desperately. Right? So here's an example. When of doing it deliberately, not desperately. Okay, because desperately is doing it because you need it. And that is a reaction, not a proaction way of living. And if you are struggling with money, you're most likely living in reaction with life and you're not living proactively in life. So I guess I'll share a story. So, because it's the most relevant way I can explain this right now. um, do I want to do the story? Do I not want to do the story? So I'm just going to share an example, not the story yet. When you want to create deliberately, right? Deliberate creation and deliberately using resourcefulness is saying, hey, it's $4,000 to pay my bills. I want to make 10, 12K a month. And then you take action on that focus with the same intensity and seriousness and unapologeticness as you would if you were desperate. The difference is you don't do it from the frequency of desperateness. You do it from the frequency of, I'm going to fucking do this. I got this. I'm resourceful. I'm amazing. I'm abundant. Right? And this is where that pattern of making just enough to get by starts to be transmuted. This is where making just enough gets by starts to be transmuted. Because you have to start being honest with yourself about how much money you really want to make versus how much money you need to make. The mind, the ego will be like, you don't need $12,000 or you don't need $30,000 or you don't need $100,000 a month. The mind will tell you you don't need it. But when you give yourself permission to desire it and to go after it, everything starts to change. Right? Everything starts to change. So going back to that resourcefulness, most of us are only resourceful if we have to be. So what would change in your life if you were resourceful because you wanted to be? What would change in your life if you stopped just being resourceful when you had to be and you started to be resourceful because you wanted to be? Big question. And let me add to that. What would your number be? Like, let's say you were to put a number on what you were going to be resourceful for. Like, instead of saying, we'll just use the $4,000 marker. Just, I want to make $4,000 a month. And maybe your bills were $3,500. This is really low bracket, I'm thinking, but reality for many of us. What if you stopped asking for $4,000 and you started to ask for $10,000? And then you decided you didn't want to just do it in a year. You decided, I'm going to actually do this in the next 60 days. I'm going to pretend as if I need it, and I'm going to take action on this as if I need it, not that I want it. And you will be so surprised at how much you can create in a smaller amount of time by applying the leverage of resourcefulness deliberately, not desperately. Because reality is, we usually give ourselves too much time to make the money that we want to make. Most of us say, I want to make this much money in 6 months. And because we give ourselves that 6-month marker, we don't actually start taking the action we need to be taking to make that happen until the very end. So I like to put myself in little pressure cookers. Like this last month, I said, I want to make 60K in 60 days. I put myself in a pressure cooker. Did I make it? Well, the 60 days isn't over completely yet, but I've made a lot of money. And why did I make a lot of money? Is because I became resourceful in a shorter amount of time for myself. And because I wasn't desperate to make it, I wasn't aligned to the desperateness. I was aligned to the deliberate creation of it. And I aligned myself to the playfulness of it, of like, why not? I'm going to try it. And then I focused on who I was becoming along the way. I focused on the wins I was having along the way. Everything started to change. I wasn't attached to the 60K. What I was focused solely on was my newfound resourcefulness. Right? So let's say you do the same thing. You give yourself 60 days to double your income. You've already put the number out there. Now you have to go to the drawing board. The goal's there. Step 1 is the goal, whatever your goal is. Step 2 is resourcefulness. Okay, how am I going to do this? And you pretend, I have to do this. Okay, I'm going to have to ask for a raise. I might have to get a new job. I might have to create new offerings. I might have to raise my prices. Right? Where's your resourcefulness? What needs to change in order for you to hit that dollar amount? This exercise in itself, whether the money comes in, is mind-blowing. You guys, you're going to be like, holy shit, I've been charging too much. I've been asking for too little. I've been staying at a deadbeat job for too long. I've been wasting time not taking action on these things. This exercise in itself will recalibrate you to more abundance, because it'll change the way you're showing up to your business, to your life, to your goals, to your expansion, just by asking yourself this question and being willing to be more resourceful, deliberately, not desperately. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You will learn so much about yourself by doing this. Okay. And the key here, before I move on to this next subject, is detaching from this goal that you set. Okay, detaching from the goal that you set. You don't want to get fixated on this number, or you're going to create more scarcity. You have to focus on who you're becoming along the way and celebrate every win of new resourcefulness. Okay? Because the attachment to the goal is why you're stuck in a place you don't want to be in financially anyways. Attachment, expectations are not the frequency of abundance, and it'll push money away. So you have to release the attachment to the goal and be an open frequency. So your job is to take that visualization we just did at the beginning of like tapping into this more, and tapping into that breath, and tapping into that freedom. That's your job every day. As you playfully see how resourceful you can be. And you'll probably learn a lot along the way, you guys. You'll probably learn that, oh, well, that way of making money made me dead, or doing that wasn't the right way. I've done that a lot. I've set big goals for myself. And I would say 50% of the time when I do this pressure cooker for myself, I learn about what not to do to make money. But what it does is it always recalibrates me to more money. Like my income always increases from this exercise, and I always learn from it. And that's what I focus on. I focus on what I'm learning from this, not what I'm getting financially from this. And that detachment is key to calling in abundance, because the universe wants to surprise you with how much money you can make and in what ways. Like I was having people come to me paying me for things that I wasn't even offering. I was like, well, the universe is kind of funny. I did not think of this way to make money. Okay, well, this works. So if we get too attached to the how and the number, we actually limit our ability to be resourceful. We limit our ability to receive. So we have to be very open and creative and playful, because the frequency of abundance is playfulness. Believe it or not, you guys, the more childlike energy I have, the more joy I have in my life, abundance flows to me. Flows to me. How is this landing? Awesome. So good. Amazing. So before we move on, I have a question for you guys to journal. And this will actually just be, you don't even have to journal it. Just acknowledge the answer. Have you ever allowed yourself to create deliberately, not desperately? Have you ever allowed yourself to create deliberately, not desperately? I'd actually love to hear in the chat if you guys would like to answer yes or no. Have you ever allowed yourself to create deliberately and not desperately? No, 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 never. Oh, goodness, this is great news. Oh, on a very small level. Oh, I love this. This is great. Okay, we're going to move into, due to having you as a mentor who can help me, yes, I kind of live that way now. I just want to get more things I want. I love that. Brandy, yes. Yes, yes, yes. She says, I want to get more things I want. Yes, permission granted to want more. Permission granted to want more. I have a phrase that I say to myself. This is supposed to come later, but we're just going to do it now. I have this phrase that I say to myself all the time when it comes to money. So it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. You guys plug in what your belief is into this context. God wants you wealthy, or the universe wants you wealthy. Whatever lands for you. God wants you wealthy. The universe wants you wealthy. Right? Amen. Whew. When I say that to myself, I'm like, God wants me wealthy, because I'm going to do good things with that. I'm going to do such good things with that. Yes, I'm going to take care of myself, but the more I take care of myself, the more I can take care of other people. The more I take care of myself, the more I can take care of more people. That is why the universe and God wants you wealthy. The more you're taken care of, the more you can take care of. and the more you can be a light worker, and the more you can share your wisdom codes. Because most likely, if you're on here and you're watching this, you're someone who is called to be a light worker, a healer, someone who's making an impact in their community, and or a business owner. And if you're a business owner, you're impacting people's lives through your business. And if you're a light worker, you're impacting people's lives through your work. And if you're raising children, the more you're taking care of yourself, the more it's going to go into them, and the more they can do and be and have in this life. So God wants you wealthy. The universe wants you wealthy. It wants you taken care of, because then you aren't living in this vibrational frequency of scarcity and spreading more of that to people, places, things, and children. Right? The universe, your angels, source, your angelic team wants you wealthy. Your job is to get out of the fucking way. Your job is to get out of the way. Your job is to align to prosperity. Your job is to ask for more. Your job is to raise your prices. Your job is to value yourself. Your job is to know and tap into worthiness and confidence, because that's actually the frequency of the divine anyway. So you're not tapping into anything that you're not. When you tap into all the things that source is, energy is, that is the same as abundance. And when you're tapping into source energy, you're remembering who you are, you're remembering your worth. And when you're remembering all of that, you start to value yourself. You start to ask for what you want. You start to dream bigger, and you start to live in a place of why not? And that rolls us into the next subject. Why not? Why not have that big life? Why not raise your prices? Why not ask for a raise? Why not? And how we ask things matter. I say this with my clients all the time. How we ask things matter. You could say, why not? Or you could say, why not? Curiosity is key. Curiosity is key. Why not? Why not? That is my paradigm shift, you guys. And I do it with playfulness. Whenever I want to call in more, and like the whole 60K in 60 days, why not? Why not, Mikkel? My brain had a whole list of reasons why not. Well, you're moving, you're doing this. Well, you haven't been showing up online that much. Can you really do that? What are you going to offer? Like my ego had a whole list of reasons why not. You can't do 60K in 60 days. And I was like, out of the picture. Listen here, we are living like we are two. Why not? We are going to live in this frequency like I am my inner child running the show, because I am sometimes. That is when it's okay that your inner child comes in and says, hey, can I drive? I'm like, oh yeah, we're driving this boat. 60K in 60 days sounds so fun. Let's do this. How can we do this? This sounds so fun. And I tapped into this playful energy. Why not? Why not do that? Ooh, why not create this offering? Ooh, why not host that event? Ooh, why not? That has changed my business. Right? When I decided I wanted a 100K launch, I had no reason behind it other than why not? Why not? I want to see what I'm made of. And most people making 7 figures and 8 figures had that same idea. Why not have this wildly successful business? And then they became resourceful. So I want to gift you this tool of mine of why not? And when the reasons come in of why not, just push them away. Bye-bye. Thank you, but no thank you. You're not welcome here. And you bring in the playfulness of why not? This would be so fun. Right? Why not? So let's take a moment, and I'd love for you guys to journal down your why nots. And if you want to share them in the chat, I would love to hear your why nots. What are your why nots? What are the things you're willing to say, why not? Why not get a new job? Why not raise my prices? Why not double my income? Why not? Why not have that big life? Why not buy a home? Why not invest into properties? Why not hire that coach? What are your why nots? Why, like, what are the things that you're willing to be like, come on, I'm done playing no mores. Why not? So I'm going to play some music and allow you guys to write down your why nots. And when you're done, write done in the chat or put your answers, even if it's just one or two. I'd love to see. And I'm going to pause the recording for a moment so that people catching this on a replay can pause. Hey, we are back, and I want to read some of these. These are so awesome. Why not get a motorcycle? Why not start a lash training business? Why not wear big hats? Raise my prices, get a six-pack, travel lots more, 10 times my monthly income, have more fun and joy in my business. Why not get a motorhome and go travel full time? These are awesome, you guys. So, as you ask these questions, those of you who didn't put it on here, I'll probably read a couple more. But let's see, why not start my own business so I can travel full time? Yes. When we start to claim the things that we want, the resourcefulness starts to find us, right? In an example is recently, so I'm moving into my own place. I was bouncing around from place to place out here in Florida. And I was thinking that this was my freedom, you know, I'm nomadic, I'm free. And I started to realize that I hadn't set a clear intention of what I desired, right? And I was manifesting some really cool places, but I wasn't manifesting my spot to land. And finally, I did the whole, why not get a place out here in Florida? Why not really end this nomadic journey and land? Like, why not? And I realized it was because I was like, well, it's, you know, you'll have to ship your stuff out here. And I had a whole list of reasons of why not. I thought, well, geez, it's going to be an extra 10, 12 grand. And, you know, you'd rather travel. You'd rather kind of invest into more coaching or something else. And then I thought, well, why not do both? Why not do both? And then I thought, okay. And that's when I came up with the 60K in 60 days. I thought, okay, well, if it's going to cost me like an extra this amount of dollars, I have, this is my income that I need to pay my bills, and I want this much to travel and play with. Like, how much more do you want that'll make you feel comfortable? And then I doubled it, and then I doubled it. And then I was like, I want 60K in 60 days. That sounds really fun. That feels abundant. I lived in that why not place. And you guys, the things that happened in this short amount of time, like Next thing I know, like I'm getting in my own place. I'm shipping my furniture out here. I'm traveling. I'm in an Airbnb right now. I'm like doing all of those things. And I became resourceful. Like here I am doing a masterclass in the middle of all of this as well, and still creating things and still creating offerings because I was willing to be resourceful. And I was willing to I'm not letting up the throttle until these 60 days are really, truly complete. I'm giving myself the spaciousness, but I'm keeping to it. I'm seeing what I'm going to learn about myself. I'm seeing how much I'm made of. And I love these little sprints like this that I do because it recalibrates me and to abundance. It recalibrates my ability to create wealth in my life when I live in these places of why not. And it allows me to see that I can truly make so much more than what I was giving myself credit for. And I was like, wow, because I was planning on getting a place next year. I was going to save up and maybe drive my stuff out here. Like all of these things where it was like making it, prolonging what I really desired. It was prolonging what I really desired. What I desired was my own place. Right? But I was unconsciously prolonging it. And most of us do. We unconsciously prolong creating the wealth. And so, yes, there's always the long-term game with wealth. I think we should all have a long-term strategy. These short-term, like quick money things can become exhausting. However, when we do these pressure cookers, it catapults us out of scarcity. And then when we realize, oh my gosh, I can make more, I can do more, I can make necessary shifts in my life to have more money, it creates the momentum in our lives to continue that level of prosperity and abundance flowing into our lives, and then allows us to set up different goals that could be long-term, mid-term, and short-term. But these strategies that I'm talking about today are to help you like get out of this like funk, to help you catapult forward in creating abundance. Right? And you all have owned what it is that is your why not, which is incredible. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready to make more money? Okay, we are on to our last little leg of this voyage, and I do have a surprise for you guys at the end of this. So if you stay to the end, I have a surprise for you guys. And even if you're catching this as a replay, I'm actually going to keep it on the recording for anybody who watches this replay as well. I felt really inspired to gift you guys more so that you can continue this energy of abundance, because I know the worst feeling in the world is feeling like you don't have money. Like I had that feeling of like, fuck, I don't have money. It is one of the worst places to be in. And I share this with you guys, like really, truly from my heart, because, you know, I think it's really important that we get honest with ourselves that just getting by doesn't feel good. You know, I was having this conversation with a client the other day, actually multiple clients the other day, about the illusion. There is an illusion that comes with being comfortable, right? When we make just enough to get by, there is an illusion that happens. We are like wearing this like mask, and we're convinced that it's comfortable to have like everything just paid for every month, and you have a little bit to save and a little bit to invest. And what I mean by that is that doesn't feel good, knowing that if any emergency happened, or if you really wanted something, you couldn't afford it. It actually doesn't feel good. So that's the illusion. And this last year I was making, when I rebuilt my business, I wanted to just get myself back to my 10K months. I just wanted to get back to that 10K month. My lifestyle's big. And so 10K doesn't go far. And I realized that I was in this pattern of, if anything extra needed to happen, I couldn't afford it. And so I was dwindling down my desires so that I could be okay with where I was at. And so many of us do this. We dampen our desires to be okay with where we're at. And this is also the illusion of comfortability. I'm comfortable. Okay, my bills are paid for. Okay, it feels good. But how good would it feel to have more? And that's what I had to ask myself is, Mikkel, it's the same effort to have more as it is to have the same amount that you have now. So usually it's around the same amount of effort to make 60K as it does 10K. Okay. Yes, a little bit goes into it at first, just like with anything, when you go to the gym and you get going and you get the momentum going, it feels like more work at first because you're doing new things, you're rearranging things. But once you recalibrate your income, the same amount of energy is going out, but you are getting more energy in financially. You are making more energy. Right? So there's a little bit of a gap to jump when you decide, I want more, but it is worth it. The threshold in between where you're at and where you're going is worth it, because once you're there, it's the same amount of energy to make $10,000 as it is $60,000. And sometimes less. When I started to raise my income and raise my worth, and raise my prices, I actually was putting out less energy and making more money. And that's the key to true abundance. Putting out less energy and making more money. And you have to look at it this way. When you put out less energy to make more money, it's more potent energy. And what do I mean by that? Like, if I have 15 clients, they're all getting a percentage of me spread amongst 15 people. But if I have 5 clients, they're getting me spread out between 5 people. So those 15 people I'd have to charging less for are getting less of me. But if I raise my prices and I work with fewer people, they get more of me. Does that make sense? So when we raise our prices, we ask for more, we start to increase more. We make more, but we put out less. And that's where we all get to go to. That's where we all get to go to. I don't want you guys to make more, to just give more. That is not how this world works, okay? You can raise your prices and ask for more and not change your output. I'm going to say it again. You can raise your prices and ask for more and not change your output. And if anything, permission slip to decrease your output so that you are a more potent person showing up in what you do than a diluted person in what you do. These are keys to abundance, loves. These are keys to abundance. Boom, baby. Okay. My last tidbit, that was a bonus tidbit. That one just came through. This is my last tidbit for you guys. Alignment matters. Okay, alignment matters. Another story time. I love stories. I think it helps me understand situations better. So when we want something and it's actually not in alignment for our highest good or in alignment of what we truly desire, the universe will not follow through with it. You won't get it. Okay. It's like, let's say this, like you ask for a raise at your job and you don't get it. The questions to ask are, do you really want to continue working here? Is this really in your highest alignment to stay here and do more? Right? Alignment matters. So here's my story. These last couple months, I was creating all of these things. And I came up with this concept, 60K in 60 days, right? And playing with money, having so much fun. And I had these ideas. I was like, I'm going to do this. And I created these offerings. I said, I'm going to open up my business for 3 clients. Six months. It's my normal, regular offering. 6 months client. I'm so excited. It was open for 3 weeks, crickets. And I thought, what is going on? Like my business fills so easily behind the scenes. I usually never have to promote one-on-ones. And I thought, what is this? What is happening? And I reached out to a really good friend who is also in the same coaching industry as me. And we have around the same income, give or take, above 100K plus every year. We have similar business models. We love each other to death. So she gave me the most powerful reflection. And I said, hey, can you share with me, like, what do you feel is going on? Help me unpack this. And she says, do you really want these clients? And I took a deep breath and I said, no, I don't. And she says, why? And I said, well, 6 months just feels too long. And she goes, well, would you want clients if they were shorter months? And I said, oh yeah. I said, I just don't feel like I want to take clients into this new year. I'd love to end them towards the end of the year and start fresh. And I said, oh, okay. And I immediately felt my nervous system open up. I was like, oh, I'm not available for 6-month-long clients. Okay. I wasn't aligned to it. So even though I was promoting it, energetically, I was not an aligned match. So it didn't come in, even though I was doing all the things. So when I recalibrated to what I was truly aligned for, in 1 week, I signed 4 clients after that phone conversation. Boom. And here was the kicker. She asked me, is there anything else you're not aligned for? And I said, the pricing. I can't charge what I'm charging anymore. Like I will be dead. And she goes, okay, charge more, do less. And the beauty of it is I've always expanded my income back and down, right? Like I've played with pricing in my business. I've allowed myself to feel what's comfortable for who and when, at what stage in their life and what stage in their business. And I know the edges I like to meet with my clients. And I wasn't playing at my full capacity edge. And so I went to my edge. I said, okay. Boom. They signed up. And I share this because it's so important for us to be aware of our alignment to what it is that we're asking. Because resourcefulness is one thing, but if you're not aligned to what you're also asking for, you're going to cock block yourself. I was energetically cock blocking myself because I was in alignment. And sometimes it's just a micro shift right? I didn't have to redo everything. It was just like I had to take off a couple months, and I also had to raise my prices. That I was in alignment for. I was like, okay, yep, that feels way better. So sometimes what we need to do is just micro shifts in what we're doing. We don't have to change the whole picture, just some micro shifts. And when we're energetically aligned with what it is that we're asking the universe for, and we become resourceful and we take massive, messy action forward in it, that's when things start to come to us and flow to us. Right? This is very similar if you're asking for a raise at a job. You know, are you asking for a raise in exchange for more time? And like energetically, you know, I don't actually really want to do this. I know it'll make me more money, but I don't really want to do this. It's not a place to be. And you won't usually call in the money that way. If you know energetically you're a fuck no to how you're going to make money, you got to come up with a new way that feels fun, a new way that feels like, yes, okay, I'm aligned for this. This, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that feels good. I can do that. And there will be the edge to it. You'll have the fun in the moment when you say yes, and you'll have the ego come in, right? And it'll always, I think when we start to talk about money, the thing I notice that starts to happen most frequently is worthiness comes up. Am I worthy of charging this? Am I worthy of creating this? Am I worthy of getting more clients? Am I worthy of starting this business? Who's going to listen to me? So the worthiness is created to wealth. Okay, worthiness is created to wealth. And when we think of worthiness outside of us, we'll always find a way in which we are not worthy, right? We'll always find a way in which we're not worthy. You don't have enough experience. You don't have enough followers. You've never charged this much before. You've never done this before. Who are you to do this? Those are all things outside of us. Worthiness is inside. It's an inside job. When you're connected to source, truly and fully, and you're making time and space for your spiritual practices and your visualizations, you innately tap into the worthiness you were born with. Okay, you were born with worthiness inside of you, and that's the why not. That frequency you can tap into, why not? That is in you. It's innate in you. It's natural. Saying that you're not worthy is not natural. Okay, it feels heavy. And I always say if it feels heavy, it's ego. And if it feels light, it's right. If it feels heavy, it's ego. And if it feels light, it's right. So if you say, oh, I can't do this, I'm not worthy, it feels heavy when you say that. I can't do this. I'm not worthy of this. Can't charge this. That feels heavy. But when you say, why not? That will create so much freedom. Why not? That feels light. So worthiness, you are already worthy right now because it's an inside thing. It's not a get to. And when you realize that, you're going to understand why the same person doing what you're doing is making more money and you're not. Because they tapped into that God-given worthiness within themselves and they got out of their own way and said, fuck it, why not? Why not? We live in a world where we are the director, the scriptwriter, the actors, the main characters. Why not create a life so wildly abundant? Why not tap into your confidence? Why not tap into unleashed dreaming? Why not? And when you do that and you connect to source energy and you visualize it every day and you believe in it, because the belief is in you. Going against the belief is not the natural part of you. You were taught to not believe that. You are worthy of everything that you want. You already have it in you. You do not need to get to anywhere. You are worthy of the wealth and dreams that you desire. It's already in you. Just breathe that in for a moment. You are worthy. You're welcome. Kevin said, thank you. That landed. Make me cry. So I've got some last little bit of journal questions for you guys. And then we'll land this beautiful ship. And you said, I needed that. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, you are worthy. You are worthy. I always like to envision myself. I'll add to that. I envision myself being worthy. I'll do a visualization of tapping into that. Like I'm already complete. I already know enough. I've already done enough. I've already learned enough. And I tap into that reality of like, what if I'm already enough right now to receive what it is that I want to receive? So you can ask yourself that question, tapping into that. What if I'm already enough right now? What if I'm already enough right now? And feeling your nervous system relax. I invite you guys to do that every morning when you wake up. If you want to align to more money and prosperity in your life, that's what you get to align to. It's as simple as opening your eyes and tuning into the reality you want, not your phone, not your negative thoughts. You tune into the reality you want right now. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Let's journal. You're ready for these last questions? How do you really want to be making money? That's the first question. How do you really want to be making money? What would bring you so much fucking joy? Like, take out the idea of like, oh, this isn't going to make that much, or if I did that, I'd be broke. I know makeup artists that make millions of dollars, okay? I know people who have broke paradigms in every industry because they believed they could. So what do you really want to do to make money? And if you want to put it in the chat, you can. I'd love to see. If you don't, if it's a self-journey thing, it's fine. What do you really want to do to make money? And the final question to that. How much money do you want to make? Being reasonable. I love this. Kevin says 40K month selling courses I love. Yes, yes, yes. Now, here's the thing about this, my loves. Now that you've got your number down and you know how you want to make money, my next question for you guys, not my next question, my next challenge, I want you to double it on that piece of paper. Double it. Whatever you wrote, double it. You're worthy of that and so much more. Remember, God and the universe want you to be wealthy. God and the universe wants you to be wealthy. The more you make, the more you can give back. The more you make, the more you can do. The more you make, the more you can be. The more you make, the better the world is. So be willing to be bold with your requests, because you don't want to ask for too little and hit it. I know I did. For so long, all I wanted was $100,000 a year. For so long, all I wanted was $100,000 a year. And I got there. I got there much faster than I thought. And I also realized it wasn't enough. Is it a good milestone? Yeah, it was an amazing milestone. But I didn't think past that. And I capped myself out. So be willing to have that. Okay, that first number you wrote, that's milestone 1. That second number you wrote is milestone number 2. And we are always allowed to go beyond. We're always allowed to go beyond. Kevin says, fuck it, let's break 1 million a year. Why not? Kevin, I am there with you. I am there with you. That is my new number. And that's just step 1. Because why not? Why not? Oh, so my loves, thank you for taking this ride with me today. I was so inspired to share these wisdom codes with you guys. My goal is to continue to give back as much as I can through what I'm learning, and to not be withholding my wisdom codes. I think many of us have that pattern. We get these ideas and we want things to be perfect. We want to wait. And when we wait, ideas pass us and the momentum passes. And one thing that I'm practicing more of is taking intuitive action on these things that I'm inspired to create in the moment, instead of waiting later, right? Because I know that there's a frequency carried in things in the now. And that's where today's transmission came from. I might even do this masterclass again, and it'll be completely new codes for you guys, because I'll be in a different space, learning new things to share with you guys. So I hope that gives you permission to create what it is that you want to create right now, knowing that it will change down the road and that new ideas will come in. But if you create it now and you take action now, you never know what you're going to learn along the way or who you'll become along the way. So I'd love to share my surprise with you guys, and I want to do a giveaway for someone. If you are my current client on this call, you already get access to this. So what I'd want to gift you guys is, one, this replay is available to you guys for the lifetime of however you want it, for $44. So if you want to buy this replay, I have a link for you and you can purchase this replay and have it, because I know it'll be something that that you guys can tune into. I love having resources like this to tune into whenever I need them, because it's that recalibration of like, okay, I'm worthy. So I just sent the link in the chat here. I'm also going to be emailing it out to you guys, because the replay will be up for 24 hours. I'm going to send it out today. I'm going to put this back in the chat because someone just jumped back in. So this will be for $44, the replay for this. However, I created a bundle. I worked on a bundle for you guys so that if you wanted to have more resources to recalibrate your frequency, you could. And so this is my abundant as fuck bundle, if you guys would like to purchase it. And I want to give away this bundle to somebody on the call today. So there are going to be 10 hours of content in this. And one of them is a money and worthiness. It was a guest speaker by Chelsea Joe. It's one of my favorite guest speakers I've ever had. And we talk about worthiness with money. So if that was a big kicker for you guys today, this was a huge one to tune into. I also this year did a feminine flourish transmission. So this was a new one this year about money and receiving money. So to be another 2-hour-long transmission on money. There's another video called Dripping in Honey. It was just a cosmic honey channel in an hour and a half of really aligning yourself to a bigger vision and dreaming and joy and abundance and flow. And I also did a masterclass last year, and I actually never had this available for purchase. So if you didn't catch it live, you didn't get it, called CEO Soul Keys Masterclass. And this was like taking, being that boss to that next level. And it was talking about the energetics of being a CEO. So you'll get these recordings, and you'll also get this video as a replay in this bundle. So you'll have 10 hours worth of content in this bundle if you want it. And this will be for, because we're doing the 222 today, so this will be for $222. So most of my bundles are $400, and I felt like I wanted to do the 222. So I have the link here. I'm going to email it out to you guys as well, so you have it. And it's all set up so you get immediate access to this. There's one more video I need to upload, which I was having issues with this week because I was in different places, but you'll have all of that available as soon as I upload this video as well. And I want to give away one of these bundles. So I would love, if you're not a current client of mine, I gotta write this down. Oh no, I'm gonna have to write it on my phone. I would love for you guys to guess a number between 1 and 100. 1 second. Hold on. Let me write it down. And you're going to put it in the chat, and I'm going to give one of these bundles away to you guys. Okay. I got my number. And you guys can start to put your number inside the chat. I love this. This is like my favorite whenever I do this. Oh my gosh. I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, I think we're complete. Someone actually guessed the exact number. This is so crazy. This is the first time I've ever had someone guess the exact number, and it was Kylie. Kylie, it was 88. So I have 88 here. So I will give you access to this bundle for free, babe. I'm so excited for you. And I'll email these links out for you guys. If you'd love to purchase this, you'll have the replay if you want to listen to it again now. But I love you guys so much. I appreciate you all staying on, like everybody, y'all stayed on this whole time. I love you, babes. Congrats, Kylie. I know. Isn't it so funny, Kylie? I fucking love you. I love all of you. It was so fun having you guys here today. Alyssa, Carolee, Kevin, Kristen, Lainey, Kylie, Randy, Sammy, Trista, Victoria, Vila. I hope I said that right. Whitney, I love you guys so flipping much. And yeah, if you know anybody that would benefit from this, you're welcome to send the link to anybody that you'll like catch this replay. That's what I'm here for, is to just spread wisdom codes. And if this made an impact for you guys and you want to share with me in the chat, in like Instagram, or text me, I always love the feedback. It helps me know what shifts it makes. And like, if this made massive shifts for you, let's say weeks from now, or whenever you watch this and you want to reach out to me and share with me, please do. Like, I love hearing it. Like, it'll bring me to tears. I get moved to tears knowing that like something, a journal assignment, a phrase, a word made this impact. I'm a words of affirmation girl, and it fills my love tank so much. So I love you guys with all my heart. I hope you have an amazing day and you start to tap into the frequency of being abundant as fuck.